I found it.
One.
Okay. Okay. So, hi, Chelsea Huff. Let's dive in and let me get my phone ready here. Okay. So, uh, you know, I, if you want to, I can guide you with questions. I want to get started that way, and I also want to just kind of hear you free flow. So, thank you. Um, can you reflect on where you were when we started, or and where you are now? What has really changed for you in working together?
Everything. Everything has changed.
Okay.
The person who initially referred me to you, when I told her that I was going to start working with you, all she said in return was, "Your life will never be the same." And within like months, my life was nowhere near the same. It seems like every time you and I would work on something together within, a 30 or 90-day period, that thing would kind of have momentum in my life.
Mm.
Um, and I'm a fast moving person. And so it was
Oh,
always
you are.
next, next, next.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so yeah, I would say everything. Like we created uh all kinds of fun stuff when it comes to income. We created all kinds of fun stuff when it comes to properties. Gosh, I now live in another country. So I think we like covered kind of a full circle, and now I'm at like a grounded place again where I'm looking for like my next loop. So
yeah,
we did a lot.
yeah. And if it's okay to say, we did quite a bit with other aspects of your life as well, right? Um,
Hmm.
and uh, what was it like for that, to be going into each aspect? I mean, did you have any expectation of that, or
I didn't. I've had like coaches for almost 2 decades now. Because of being in real estate, that's kind of par for the course. If you're a high producer, you end up in coaching. And I think over the last 20 years, the coaching industry has really grown. And I think that it's probably one of the more valuable industries out there. Everybody needs either a really good therapist or a coach, um, and would probably benefit more from the latter. Um, Touching on the other aspects, the first thing that comes to mind is I have a very kind of tricky relationship with some family members, and we were constantly kind of digging into that and how that has shaped me. And so I feel like I had like a really good energetic support for creating boundaries for the first time in my life and feeling good about it versus creating boundaries and like having to shut people out or um the work that we did kind of reminds me of I just finished reading Mel Robbins' book Let Them,
oh
and I
yeah,
feel like from an energetic perspective, like that's what you did with me was help me let them and then let me go do what I'm going to do regardless of them.
yeah, yeah. So if you were to think of an analogy for yourself, like this was like, have you been able to think of a mental picture that comes to you? I mean, you're so imaginative. I'm just really curious what might come to you.
Um, I Nick and I joke. Funny enough, I told him earlier today that we were going to do this, and I was like, you know what? You should actually do the testimonial for Shelley because every time I would get off the phone with you, he would be like, "Man, I just love her." So he would be a really good, and he's more granular when it comes to details and things. So he would actually be a good person because he is a raving fan of yours.
Oh,
Um,
oh, hello.
I, in the beginning, I still actually, when I am referring you people, I always call you a wizard. And I mean it in like the most feminine wizard possible, but
Oh yeah.
it feels like um you're a wizard.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, no muggles around here.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So, if you were to tell somebody else, about this work, who would you be, what would be going on in their life, for example, maybe a few different examples of what would be going on in their life that would make you say, "Hey, go this direction, go work with Shelley." Um, and what would you expect them to experience? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think back of or like to where I was. I felt like I was ready to go to my next level, whatever that was back then, and I just um I couldn't get there, or I had been in the same place for a long time and I was tired of being in the same place. And I didn't have I was missing a tool or I was missing support in being able to get to the next place. And so I think um that would be the person that I would say, like, maybe it's more like you need some help in realigning,
Mhm.
um, than you need help with, the top 10 ways to XYZ. Like maybe you need someone to actually like get inside with you and move things forward.
Yeah. And I think it's really important that when you're reflecting on that, you are an extremely high producer, extremely high functioning, fast moving. You're amazing at manifesting and connecting with the universe and all of this. I mean, we're not talking about you having been down in the dumps, right? You're a
No,
leader
yeah,
all,
no.
yeah, you're a leader already. You own two companies. You and Nick have had a loving relationship already, right? And two kids and
Yes,
all the good stuff. And you were you needed to go to a whole other levels, and you had a vision for that, and not a way or a support to get there except that felt mechanical, right? And there's nothing about
very
this.
much so.
Yeah, there's nothing about this that's mechanical. It's all on the energetic, intuitive level, looking what's going on in your life and rearranging that from the inside out, right? Does that feel accurate to you?
Yes. I feel like I've always heard like work smarter, not work harder. I come from a work hard background. I have like white knuckled and worked hard, or I had at the point in time that you and I started working together to get to where I was, and that wasn't working for me anymore, or it wasn't how I wanted to do things. And so thinking about, yes, I hear people say work smarter, not harder, but I, from my frame of reference, couldn't ever figure out what that meant. I know it meant systems and tools and people and all of those things, but on a spiritual level, I didn't know how to have more and do less and feel okay about it. And so I think that was one of the biggest things that when you and I started working on that was what really shifted things for me is I felt on the inside um almost permission or a pathway to being able to have more without killing myself for it and being able to enjoy my life and just receive like be in a state of receivership, which was foreign to me.
Hmm. That's huge. And in point, case in point, you're in Spain right now, and
Yes.
you're living in Spain right now, and that was a big deal for you because it was a dream um, that you had to wrangle with to feel really worthy of, right?
Yes.
To have it that
Deeply.
good, yeah. And now you've got your kids in a whole new experience and schools and everything there, right? I mean, you're fully immersed. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in we chose this it was like very serendipitous their school choice, and it's amazing. They're thriving. We have a ton of friends like almost immediately. We've only been here for like 5.5 months, and we have like some very good people who will be lifelong friends, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's amazing.
That's super cool. Okay. So if there was anything else you wanted people to know, what would it be? Did we leave anything out? I didn't go through the, usual questions. I mean, I mean, but I think we covered it. So
Per usual, we know what we're talking about.
yeah, exactly.
Um, I would just say the same thing that someone said to me is if you've never um like obviously I'm a huge fan and a believer in coaching, and I would say about you that if someone does choose to work with you, their life will never be the same.
And in a good way? Or,
Yes, yes. Oh
oh,
my
okay.
gosh.
Like,
Yes. I'm quoting from the person who said it to
yeah.
me. So,
And very briefly, because I know you got to go, what does it mean that your life is never the same, will never be the same? Like, what is, because so one person might think, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready for that, right? But what would you
yeah,
say to them so that they feel like, hell yeah, you know?
I think my capacity for what I want is greater, and my belief in um my capacity for what I want is greater. My Can you hear them?
Oh yeah. Just, I can't hear what they're saying. I can just tell they're there.
They have music theater practice, and so they're practicing like right on the other side of the wall from
Oh,
me.
cool. Good.
So funny. Um, what is different, or what does it mean to never have your life be the same? Um, my just my capacity for what I want in life and my ability to receive what I actually wanted is far greater than it was. And with ease, also. That was something that I can hear you say over and over and over in my mind is with great ease also. It can be greater and more expansive and all of these things. And I would feel myself when we were talking start to contract because of the pressure of more. And then you would constantly remind me that in easy, in flow, right? Like it doesn't have to be a struggle for all of these things. Like you can really have it that good.
Yeah. And we were shifting the energy. So that was a normal thing, constant.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could relax into it. Okay. Thank you, my dear. I'm going to shut the recording
You're
off
so welcome.
and I want to ask you one more question. Okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, here it is. Okay. There we go.